It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Brewers have been brewing with stuff from the sea for quite a long time. And in a matter of fact, the stuff from the sea that they brew with generally clears your beer. Isinglass, for example, is fish eyes that brewers use, unvegan friendly of course, to clear beer, to get that haziness away. The other way of doing it, the vegan friendly way of doing it, is by using seaweed, another part of the sea. Maybe it's the salts in the sea, maybe it's the waters of the sea, maybe it's just the sea itself that just wants to make beer nice and clear. Today we got a beer from Moor Beer Company. Fantastic company. I actually brewed my own collaboration with Moor Beer Company last year called Steady Walker. It's an old ale at 4.8% ABV. I've still got 2 cans of it myself and I'm aging it because it's a live beer. Moor Beer Company have produced this live beer where they kind of measure the amount of yeast that they put in every single can, and then that little bit of yeast is allowed then to very slowly and very quietly second ferment in the can, and it causes the carbonation in the can. It's a fantastic thing. And this is with a company called Tides, and this is their Ladram Bay Bitter with sugar kelp, 4.2% ABV. So sugar kelp, I'm presuming it comes from the sea, so it's malted wheat, hops, yeast, kelp and mushrooms in this beer. 440 milliliter can. Let's get the beer out into a glass and see what we get. Little bit of smoke on the can opening, beer in the glass. There's no widget or etching in the bottom of the glass. So I'm always very conscious when I get a Moor Beer Company beer, I'm always very conscious to give it a bit of a rigorous pour. If I had this beer for 6 months, say, then that little bit of yeast that's in every can, I would be less kind of likely to really give it a bit of a rigorous pour because, of course, it's already created some carbonation then from that second fermentation process. But when the beer's fresh, I always give a Moor beer a bit of a rigorous pour. But the beer looks great, doesn't it? Look at that. Rocking the beer back and forth, you can see the carbonation rolling up the side of the glass there. It's a deep kind of mahogany amber coloured beer. Looks really good actually. Nice and hazy, unfiltered, proper bitter. A proper bitter. That bitter could have been brewed in that glass 200 or 300 years ago and it would look exactly the same as what we have in the glass today. Fantastic. Looks great. Slightly creamy coloured head. Let's get the aroma. Whoa, yeah. Lovely malts coming through. Lovely biscuity, bready, nutty malts coming through in the aroma of this beer. I mean, on a personal note, sugar kelp, I've never really come across it in my life, so I'm not going to pretend to know what kelp tastes like. I think the best thing to do is try it and see if we can work out if it tastes anything like something else in life, and then work it to that. Oh. They know how to brew beer, Moor Beer Company. Not just because I brewed a collaboration with them last year, but when I went to the brewery, I've been to the brewery a couple of times actually, the knowledge there and the infrastructure there and what they're putting in place there is terrific. They've got vertical fermenters for their bitters, for their ales. They've got horizontal fermenters, probably only a few breweries, or let's call it a microbrewery. There's only a few microbreweries in the whole of the UK that have invested in horizontal fermenters. And what that means is Moor Beer Company can produce proper lager, proper German style, kind of Czech style lagers, German style lagers. When I was at the brewery last September, October, I spent a lot of the time drinking their lagers. Their lagers were tremendous. They lagered it properly. They aged the beer properly. It was all done kind of 90-day lagering. But I'm not here to talk about their lager today. I'm here to talk about this bitter. But the quality of this bitter is just incredible. I've slightly chilled this. I reckon I got this down. It's probably about 18 degrees in this conservatory. The beer feels colder than the room. So I reckon I got it down to about 10 degrees. For me, that's perfect bitter drinking temperature. You've taken the edge off, you've chilled it down a little bit. It's nice and refreshing, but you're still getting all the quality of the malt. All of that fantastic malt flavours are coming through. Biscuity, bready, nutty, hoppy, a little bit of sweetness over there from the malt. Lots of different layers of malt that they've used, and then you've got that lovely bitterness over there from the hops that they've used in the beer. It is terrific. It's a lemon-like hop flavour coming through. Lemons, like grapefruity flavour, peppery, spicy. The mouthfeel on the beer, you can tell that they've used a good selection of malts here. A nice few layers of malts, because you can feel it in the mouthfeel. It's offering us like creaminess. I love Best Bitter. I really do. I love Best Bitter. But it's difficult these days to find really good Best Bitter from microbreweries, because everybody wants to brew hoppy IPAs and pale ales, and there's still only a select few breweries in the UK, I'd say, that are producing really good Best Bitter. I'm not talking about John Smith's, I'm not talking about Boddington's or Brain Smooth, Worthington Cream Flow. They were once great beers. They were once. Even the likes of dare I say it's Shepherd Neame Spitfire and some of the Badger beers and Abbott Ale, Green King IPA, which is, well, I suppose you could just about call that a bitter. They would have been great bitters back in the day. Great bitters back in the day. They are the shadow of their former selves. If you wanted to try, say, a Brains bitter from 1887, when this brewery first opened its doors, it probably tasted an awful lot like this. Lots of different malts, lots of different kind of hops, good mouthfeel. Same with John Smith's, Tetley's, Boddington's. They all would have started out life tasting like this. So if you don't drink those bitters anymore because you feel that they've been ruined, but you want to imagine what those beers would have tasted like 100 years ago, then maybe go out and order this Ladram Bay Bitter. I honestly think it's a glimpse. It's a glimpse and a look back at how bitters used to be and how some microbreweries are still waving the flag for best bitters. And I think that's brilliant. So congratulations to Moor Beer Company and Ebb Tides. You have produced a fantastic... Look at the lacing on the glass. Look at that bitter. That is just wonderful. You've produced something really quite special here. Looks good, smells good, tastes good. Fantastic bitter. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. I still get excited about Best Bitter, but it's got to be a good one. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.